Hello all, we're back with another deck profile. What's your name? What'd you do?
So, my name is Lily from the Galway Skull Mariners, and this weekend I came first place undefeated at the Navan OTS. And so I guess after the event I was thinking to myself, from all the great work all the content creators did on their spreadsheets for the Maliss deck, I thought, I would follow their advice and I would, play the deck the way they did. So I thought I'd go through that with you guys today.
Slave, you're doing good to confuse and bewilder them.
And I know what you're
Make sure they all play the wrong cards.
No, I can't. I can't lie to the players. No.
Yes, you can.
I can't
And
profit
you
off of
will.
people being
You will
behind
make me
because
all
of your
the profit I need.
No!
Lily, what's happening to your jersey?
I don't know. Wait, what's this feeling?
What's that sound?
Oh my god!
How are you resisting
I feel the
me?
weight falling away.
You are supposed to tell them that they are behind if they don't buy my millennium spreadsheet.
That was crazy.
Yeah, it was.
I can't believe I broke the power of the mind control that the spreadsheets had over me.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm no longer behind.
No, you're not.
Well,
You're in front.
since I'm no longer behind, let me tell you exactly what I played for this weekend in Navan.
So at this point, I bet you're wondering, oh, why is it slowed down like this? Well, there was a bit too much background noise in the shop. D&D is always busy on a Thursday, so it was kind of difficult to record the deck profile. Also, there was a little bit of glare on the cards, so we had to reshoot it a little bit. So, scene change time.
So, for any Maliss player, I'm sure you've seen on Twitter a while back that you might be behind. And I'm here to tell you that you're not. And no matter what event you're playing, you can be ahead. And all you have to do is test your deck and build it to a way that you like to play. Yes, sometimes there's meta calls, but not everyone has the exact thing you should do. And through testing your deck with your friends, you'll be able to do it your way. So in here, I have 2 of the white rabbits, obviously, 2 of the dormouse, I've played 2 Chessy Cat, and I played 3 March Hares. Pretty simple ratios, considering you want to see a Maliss name always, and you want to resolve each of these effects throughout your turn. So playing less than 2 of each of these ones, and playing less than 3 of these ones, I think might do you a bit of detriment when you're trying to have a Maliss name on the board.
Do you miss the other copies?
Definitely missed the 3rd copy of Dormouse. It's the best starter, but sure, look, what can you do? We have March here now, so it's okay. Next up is the backup engine for when you end up under Lancia. You have 3 backup adding Nister. Finally, I'm so happy to be able to play the backup. She is so cool. I think every version of Backup Secretary is so cool, so it's really nice to be able to play her now. And of course the search is Wizard. Wizard is obviously a really strong card. However, it opens the deck up to more interaction with the spell, which a lot of people are playing now, so that can be kind of difficult. But sure, look, it's a great engine and it's really good to refill your hand when you get this, and especially when you use it with Cyber's Wicked, which we'll talk about later. Hand traps that are also engine, 1 of each of these. This searches the other 2. This one's really good against Mitsurugi. This one's really good against somebody who has to get through your board and doesn't realize it sends. So those 3 are excellent because they also help you get into your plays as long as you're not locked into Cybers.
Has it been nice to remove the Bistials in replacement with March Hare in the end?
Yes, absolutely. I was playing a bunch more Bistials, and obviously March Hare is a custom-made Bistial for Maliss, so it's nice to be able to have that instead. Next up we have 3 Ash, which works offensively and defensively. In this format, you can use it to ash your opponent's crucial plays, and you can stop them from mulch armying you, which is awesome. Next up we have 2 Nib, which came up in clutch in Navan so much. It came up in my round 5, it came up in my round 2, and it even came up in my round 3. So in all of those games it was really crucial to resolve Nib. I really like Nib, and I also really like drawing Nib because I'm playing 2 of it. I like drawing it off of Fualos, and I also like drawing it off Meowth, which is in the side. So Fualos is great. Everybody knows why Fualos is great. You take Droll and Lockbird, you split it up into 3 cards, and you charge people money for it. What better business plan is there? Sounds like a pyramid scheme to me, but look, it's a good pyramid scheme because it wins me games.
We love Maxi.
Oh, we love Maxi. Bring him back. Not Brady, please don't. 3, Droll and Lockbird, which is great against Mitsurugi. Absolutely kills them. Even if you draw it off this, it's still really valuable to be able to use it against Mitsurugi and some other rogue options that have to do a lot of searching. For the traps in the hand traps, I didn't have my hands on Dominus Impulse, so I had 3 Imperm instead. So Imperm was really good. Next up, for the spells in the deck, I played Triple Tactics Talent. It's great for looking at your opponent's hand when they activate an effect. It allows you to check for nib. It allows you to check for 1 or 2 other things just to make sure your turn is secured. That's what I mostly used it for. Then I had Call By as a one-of, obviously really good against Lancia, against a Charmy, and then Crossout was really good against a Charmy or an Ash or a Nib or even an Imperm, and it was really great in the mirror as well. So those 3, great trinity to have. It's actually more interesting to side for Crossout now that it's at 1 because you have much more siding space with it. Then we had AI Meet You, really good. Reveal White Binder, get into your backup engine. It was really great. Playing it at 1 was fine. I might want to play 2, but I just didn't find the space this weekend. Then we had the Malice and Undergrounds and the Terraforming. You really want to have this spell. If you're not able to get this spell, it can be difficult to get your plays going, especially in turn 3, because you really want to be able to banish your links and get yourself back into the game. So I think these 3 are fine because it's at 2, you're playing 3 of it. Obviously that runs you into Droll a little bit more, but that's what these 3 are for. And from there I played 1 Gold Sark, really good card. Obviously it has to be in this deck, you get to start your plays. Then this was really good. I cannot believe how good this card is. I think its ability to negate, also banish 1 of your links, and then also when it's banished itself, banish another card and search you a card to get you Martyr, keeps your engine going unbelievably. If you would look at the main deck and call some of the cards fuel, this would be nitrous because it drives you way further. So that was that. And finally, I played each of the 3 traps. I genuinely think each one of these traps has merit, and you should play the ratios of these traps that you think works best for your build and what you intend to be playing against for the tournament you're in. I discovered that this has so much utility now as a card for going first rather than just being used as a card to interact with your opponent by banishing something, because it gets you into Martyr, which makes it a really good starter, as good of a starter, if not maybe more than TB11. However, I still think GWC is extremely valuable, especially in games 3 going into time. It's really good to trigger your Topologic Bomber Dragon, and it gains you life. I don't think there's a reason not to play it, and I don't think you're behind for wanting to play it. Then for the extra deck was fairly simple. I played 1 Link Spider for nib protection. I played around nib well enough that I didn't need it, but there might have been situations where it would have came up, that's why I wanted it. Then 2 Lingaribo, absolutely needed 2. 2 made a huge difference because your plays get stopped, you don't have Lingaribo, you have a backup in hand, you need to get back into your plays, so you need a Cybers from your extra deck. It was also great to leave it face up on the board in the mirror match or against a deck that might be using other traps, because once they activate their trap, you can tribute this and protect yourself. Especially good in the mirror match. Really good in the mirror match when I played it in round 1. Then I had this for summoning out a big Mitsurugi Lizard Man to kill my opponent with their own big Lizard Man. That's what it was there for, and I really liked it. I didn't get to use it much, I only used it once, but it was cool. Next up, we had Cyber's Wicked. Obviously a really good card when comboing with backup at Ignister. It's also really good because it banishes, and it's also really good because it searches. This card is great, and it also offers protection against being destroyed, which I learned was really good against Skyburn actually only today, which was great. But it didn't come up as much because I did opt to instead go for Splash Mage most of the time. So Splash Mage, my opponent has to interact with Splash Mage, or the next thing that happens is I get a Malice name. So they have to interact with that. So when I use this, they have to interact with it, and then I just follow up with the backup I have in hand, if I do have it. If I don't have the backup in hand, then I would have to use this to try and get into it, or find another way around. But the important thing is to always get into the Malice name. So as long as you're able to secure a Malice name through either of these cards, it's pretty good. So obviously the Malice names, this, and this, as long as this keeps going, you are fine. As long as this banishes cards from the graveyard, as long as this adds back, and as long as this allows you to set traps, you are doing really, really good. So it draws cards, it banishes cards, it sets cards. What more do you want in a monster? I don't know. It does everything for this deck. So keep this going. This is amazing, obviously, against any deck really, especially because of its non-target banish and its combination with MPT07. If you have them both on the board, that's a double banish. It's what Exo Sister used to do, but only much, much better. Obviously, this one is great because it searches the new spell, which gives it just much more utility now, because you can either get your combo started again by adding the field spell, or you can add the monster negate interaction, which is really, really good. So all three of these names always should be in the deck. They're really good. I love access code talking people to death by banishing this and bringing it back with 5k to curb stomp. That's really, really fun. Then of course we had Topologic Bomber Dragon and Code Talker. Between these two, it could be very difficult to actually decide on what you want to play when you're building your board, but I think it's more dependent on what you're playing against, and if you're intuitive enough to know what the deck you're playing against needs more. If they need monsters face up on the board, play this to make sure their board's always empty. If they have a crux choke position that you need to negate with this generic negate to get your white binder back into the grave, and then you can banish it with your Jamar Terror later and draw another card, which could be a hand trap, which is another negate for them, then this is what you make, which is great. And both of them really keep interacting really well throughout the board, because you're always summoning in this deck. So summoning to this is great, and you're always getting your Link 3s back into zones the sky's pointing to, so he's always able to negate, which is great. So those two are both really, really good, and I used them both equally throughout the day. He came up a little bit more, he came up more in the mirror match. Access Code Talker to be able to just kill people out of nowhere, obviously, really, really good. I mean, if you have a few attributes in here in this extra deck, obviously we've gone through a lot of darks at the moment, but I have a couple others. Really, really good. No reason to explain why. Next up we have Haggard Lizardos, which is really, really good. Good water monster, obviously, off of this. Haggard Lizardos is great because it gets your play started, especially when you have a difficult hand and you can't banish anything. And he's also quite good at being able to banish himself to draw you a card when you're absolutely desperate and there's nothing else you can do. You never know what you can top deck off this if you're in a really bad situation. And so he's great at banishing. He gets you a draw every now and again, and he clears your own field, so you can fool a loss on your own turn at your opponent, which is pretty cool. Finally, SP Little Knight, because it's really, really good to banish Malice names on your turn, but it also, when you summon it, it could banish something your opponent controls. It's good at clearing your board. It triggers your guys if you have one of your Link 3s and this on the board. This card just has a lot of versatility. It always has since it came out. Really good when you're not locked into Cybers. Finally, Nightmare Phoenix. This was like a flex spot in the deck where I really couldn't think about what I wanted to play, but I did want to play this because I anticipated Blue Eyes, I anticipated maybe Live Twin, both that have like back row cards that help their archetype, and I want to pop those cards. So co-linking this with any of the early starter cards is great, as long as you're not locked into Cybers. And then having the Fire and Grave as an attribute for Access Code Talker was even better. And because you're discarding a card, you're probably discarding a card that you might want to banish with March Hare later, so it doesn't hurt as much. And then you're drawing another card. Drawing cards in this deck is really, really strong because you want to be able to get into your hand traps while having a really strong board. Obviously, who hasn't said all this already? Side deck, I played this for time just to have an extra imperm, which was nice because sometimes when you go into time and you're down on life and you didn't just gain back enough on GWC06, this is good. And it's not an egregious time card, I don't think, because it does interact by targeting an opponent's monster to negate its effect. It stops them using it as a material for something else, which I thought was really, really good against Mitsurugi because they tribute their guys to bring out another guy. So if you do this to one of their big guys and then they tribute it for another guy, they're taking a lot of damage. For going second was the Lightning Storm and the Harpy's Feather Duster. This was really good for Blue Eyes. I didn't actually see any Blue Eyes on the day of the tournament. I did the day before, and it worked out really well. Mainly only used it once against Live Twin, and it worked out pretty much okay. Again, just to clear some pesky back row that can kind of keep you under, especially in this deck, because you use life in this deck. So because Live Twin is now popular with the new support, they can also burn you while you're paying for life yourself. So getting rid of their back row really helps. Next up, 3D Shifter.
Go ahead.
Next up was D Shifter. Fox. That's gonna stay in now.
Yeah.
Next up was D Barrier. I wish it was one D Barrier and a Thrust, and a few other targets for it, but I just didn't have access to it on the day. Last minute decision, but sure, look, here we are. It worked out fine against Mitsurugi, and it didn't work out fine against everything else. I did side it in my round 5 against Gimmick Puppet FTK, but it just didn't come up, and that was fine. Obviously then 3 Lancia. So this came out great for the mirror match in round 1. It was an obvious side in for a cross out target in games 2 and 3 after securing game 1. As long as you secure game 1, you're always going to be in a really good position, because you know they're going to be siding this in, you know they're going to be siding in Chaos Hunter, and as long as you find a way to play around them in how you test, you're going to be fine. I don't think any one person can tell you how to play this deck through a spreadsheet that you have to pay for. I certainly wouldn't pay for one for it. I think by testing with your friends at a shop that has some competitive people and a really supportive community, you can learn to play any deck, any build, with any cards. Could I have put stronger cards in this? Yes, I absolutely could have. So in my rounds, I saw a couple of rogue options, and I also saw a couple of meta options. Like I said, I played the mirror, I played Mitsurugi, I played 2 Live Twin, and in the end, I played against Gimmick Puppet FTK, which is typical for Ireland.
So where do you play?
I play here at Dungeons and Donuts. You can see around me. This is like one of the best places you could be. Come up here, play some games of Yu-Gi-Oh! Dungeons and Donuts is the best place. You can find D&D on Discord. You can find Dungeons and Donuts on Facebook, and you can find us also on Facebook and Instagram, where you can see more of our adventures with the rest of the Galway Skull Mariner team. We look forward to seeing you guys at Nats. We look forward to seeing you after Nats. We can't wait for Euros this year to see how the meta shakes up. Let's hope Battles of Legend gets released soon.
Eventually.
There you go. That's my profile.
Thank you all. Lil,
Yeah,
I forgot to hit record.
you're joking.
Oh, fuck.